Do you know how to find my recording? Okay, on my YouTube channel. That's good. So today I'll help you one last time about Lagrangian before your midterm exam. So the first question, you are given the consumer's utility function, right? But you only know this information. So basically, the utility function xy equal 2x y power half. You are only given this information, but you should know that what is the budget constraint? What is the budget constraint? Okay, basically we want to maximize our utility function subject to budget constraint, which is px times x plus py times y equal your income. Okay, so in the exam, you need to write down this one. This is our objective function maximization, and this is our constraint. Don't plug in number here, okay? So the first question, 1.1, set up the Lagrangian function for the utility maximization problem, all right? So L equal objective function first, right? Which is our utility. So 2xy power half plus, this is plus, okay? Some of you wrote something that I don't know. Plus our constraint, which is lambda times I minus px times x minus py times y, okay? If you have any question, raise your hand and ask me. If you still don't understand, okay, after this class, you can come to see me in my office. So if you write down this one, you get the point for 1.1. All right. Next one, 1.2, using the Lagrangian, derive the demand equations for goods X and Y. Okay, so 1.2, what should you do? First order condition. Right, first order condition. You need to take derivative 3 times. The first one, cur L over cur X. What did you get? What does it mean cur L over cur X? You take derivative respect to X only. Basically, you need to treat Y lambda as constant, okay? So this one equal 2 times y power half. Because here you are taking derivative respect to x, okay? So 2y power half minus lambda px equals 0, right? We have a negative px here for x, and here we have lambda. So same here. This is the first equation. Second one, cur L over cur y. This utility function is easy, right? It's not complicated that we did for the lecture. So cur L over cur y, which is 2x times 0.5 y power negative 0.5. Okay, y is negative. You need to use the power rule minus lambda py equals 0. And this one we can simplify, okay? We can simplify this one. Because here, 2 times 0.5, which equals 1, okay? 2 times 0.5 equals 1. So 1, I don't need to write down anything. So here is x, y power 0.5 minus lambda p y equals 0. Okay, this is our second equation. The third one, you need to take derivative with respect to lambda. What does it mean? You take derivative means you find the parameter for lambda, which is this one, right? Which is our budget constraint. So if you take the derivative with respect to lambda, you get our budget constraint I minus px minus py y equals 0. Okay, this is our 3 equations you should get from first order condition. I hope you did not prepare for the mock exam. That's why only 3 out of 30 can do the Lagrangian. But I haven't checked your correct. You need to know the idea, okay? The first one, write down the Lagrangian. The second one, you take the first order condition. Next one, how to solve it. Remember, here we have 3 questions. Equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. How do we solve it? So, first one, look at equation 1 and 2. You just use equation 1 over equation 2, okay? How we solve this systematic equations? Okay, use equation 1 over equation 2. What is equation 1? Let me just copy it. Okay, so let me rearrange. Equation 1 basically is, how do I rearrange? 2y power half equal lambda px. This is for first equation. Equation 2, xy negative half equal lambda py, right? So now I'm going to use this equation over this equation, 1 over 2, right? So I just copy this. Can we solve? Can we cancel out something? Yes. What is it? We can cancel out lambda. And then let's simplify. So here becomes x. In the x alone in the denominator, okay? How about y? So here, y power half minus power half. So basically it's y power 1. I hope you are clear about this. So here we have 2y. Okay, 2y in the numerator. So here we have 2y over x equal px over py. Next one. So basically, x equal 2y divided by px over py. If you divided a fraction, we need to multiply its reciprocal. What is reciprocal? You flip the denominator and the numerator. So here is 2y times px over py, okay? X equal to y times px over py, and I'll name this one equation 4. How do we solve it? Okay, the logic is you use 1 over 2, you got another equation which is equation 4, and right now I'm gonna plug equation 4 into equation 3. This is how we solve this systematic equation, okay? You plug equation 4 into 3. In the exam, if you don't know, you can just write down, put equation 4 into equation 3, as long as I can understand. So let's see, basically we're gonna substitute x, right? So this is equation 3. I'm gonna substitute x into this equation. So let's try. I minus, where's equation 3? Here. Px. So right now I'm gonna substitute x. X is 2y px over py, right? Minus pyy equals 0. Okay? This is equation 3, but I just plug in this one, x equal to y px py here, right? So let's simplify. Here we can cancel out. Okay, let me mark x. This is x, right? This is x. So here I just plug in x into our budget constraint. And let's simplify. We can simplify px. Okay, let's continue. So here, basically, I minus 2y py minus pyy equals 0. So here, can you solve for y? Can you? Yes, we can. So basically here, just 3y py equal I. So what is y? Y star, this is our Marshallian demand for y. Y star equal I over 3py. Okay? This is Marshallian demand for y. But we also need to solve for x. How do we solve it? Okay, so here I got y star, right? So let's see. This is our x. So basically, I just plug y star into equation 4. Let's see. So here, x equal 2 times y. So here, y, you need to plug in y star, which is I over 3y. 3py times px py, right? So let's cancel out something. We can cancel out py here. So what is x star? 3px 2i. Okay, so x star is the Marshallian demand for good x, 2y over 3px, y star equal I over 3py. This is about 1.2. Let's continue 1.3. So I just told you, identify what type of demand the functions derived in 1.2. Marshallian or Hicksian? Marshallian or Hicksian, this is the answer for X star. This is the answer for Y star. Those two are, we got it from utility maximization, which is Marshallian demand. Okay, you can check later by yourself. Let me continue. Okay, so here I showed you 1.3. These are Marshallian ordinary or uncompensated demand function. You can just remember one, which is Marshallian. Okay, Marshallian demand, because they express quantity demanded as a function of prices and money income, not a fixed utility level. 1.4, what is the numerical solution? Basically, you just plug in the numbers, right? What is Px? What is Py? Px equal 30, Py equal 60, I equal 1,800. You just plug in numbers into X star and Y star, right? You get the answer. X star equal 40 units, Y star equal 10 units. And then let's check. You see, let's check our constraint. Px times X star plus Py times Y star equal 30 times 40 plus 60 times 10, which is 1,200 plus 600 equal 1,800. Exactly our income, right? So this is correct. And 1.5, what is the marginal utility of income? So basically, what is lambda? What is lambda? Okay, you can use this one. Marginal utility from X over Px, or you can use this because our first equation, cur L over cur X equal to Y power half minus lambda Px equals 0, right? You rearrange, you get lambda equal to Y power half over Px. You just plug in numbers. Okay, so basically here 2, what is Y? Y is only 10 units, right? Y square root 10 over 30. You use calculator. You can use calculator and it's approximately 0.211. What does it mean? One additional baht of income rises maximum at attainable utility by approximately 0.211 units. Okay. If you want to get the full score about 1.5, which is 2 points, first one, you need to calculate the lambda. Second one, you need to interpret in order to get the full marks. And then 1.6, maximum utility. Basically, this is our utility function. And then we know how many X and Y the consumer bought. You just plug in numbers and then you will get the maximum utility, right? 2 times 40 times 10 power half, use calculator, is approximately 252.98 utils. Don't forget the units, okay, utils. So next one, 1.7, draw the graph. Not so many of you can draw the graph. Okay, so let me show you. The equilibrium is at the tangency of the budget line Px x plus Pyy equal 1,800 and the highest attainable indifference curve at the point. This is the optimal consumption bundle, right? X star, Y star, 40 and 10. Okay, so let me help you with this. Here is the graph. First of all, you need to label x on the x-axis, y on the y-axis. Okay? Do I need to show you hand by hand? Okay, so since we have time, let's try. Okay? So let's label it x and y. You cannot just draw a line. No, how to draw a line? You need 2 points. Based on our budget line, right? This is our budget line. Pxx plus Pyy equal 1,800. You plug in the price. 30x plus 60y equal 1,800. How to draw this budget line? You need 2 points. First one, if x equals 0, y equals 30. If y equals 0, x equals 60. You only need those 2 points, which is 0, 30 here, or 60, 0. Be careful which one is x, which one is y. Okay, let's try to draw it. Where's this point? 0, 30, y. That means x equals 0, y equals 30. It's somewhere here. This is the first point you need to know, okay? 0, 30. Another point, where is 60, 0? X equals 60, y equals 0, it's here. Right? So here is 60, 0. And then you connect those 2 points. You can get the budget line. Is this our budget line? In the exam, if you just draw a line without labeling, you will not get the full mark. Okay? So this is our budget line. Let's see, this is BL1. Okay, so remember our optimal consumption is here. 40, 10, x equal 40, somewhere here. 40, y equal 10, somewhere here. So that means where should you draw the IC curve? Here? No, you need to tangent. So please bring your pencil to the exam. You can erase it and draw it again. Okay? Pencil, please. So this is our IC1. All right? Point A. This is our initial optimal, which is 40, 10. Okay, so this is about this graph. Okay, next one, 1.8. The government imposes a policy limiting the purchase of good X to no more than 20 units. That means there is a cut. The government says for good X, the maximum you can buy is 20. So we have a vertical cut here, right? So basically, what is the new budget line? It's here. The pink, okay, the pink one, this one, and this one. Because right now the government set the regulation. You cannot buy X more than 20, okay? So the question asks you, how will the consumer adjust their consumption choice? Will they adjust? Of course. Before, the consumer buy 40X, but right now he only can buy 20, okay? So, because the consumer sets X equal 20 and spend the remaining income entirely on Y. So what is Y here? So you still need the budget line here, okay? Px times X plus Py times Y equal 1,800. And then you plug in Px and Py. What is Px and Py? 30x plus 60y. So right now, x equal 20. Can you calculate how many y the consumer can buy? Use your phone. Calculate it now. If x equal 20, y equal, how to calculate? You plug in 20, right? You plug in 20 here. This is the answer. 30 times 20 plus 60y, because right now we changed the x. So the new y is 20. That means right now the consumer's new consumption bundle is 2020. X equal 20, y equal 20. And because of the new budget line, okay, the pink one is the new budget line. So the consumer's utility, let's see. Okay, so this one point. You need to tell me what is y equal 20. You got it? Next one, satisfaction, which is the utility decreases y decreases. You knew equal to, you plug in 2020 into the utility function, right? Here is the utility function. 2xy power half. So right now, x and y becomes 20. So here you plug in 2020 here, which is approximately 178. But before, our original utility U star is 252 something, right? You got it before. Okay, you got it before, you got it here. So right now you see actually the consumer's utility decreases. So you need to draw a new indifference curve where here. This is U new, and this point is B. Okay, that's why I showed you here. This is the initial point, A equal 40, 10. Let me use blue. Okay, this is the initial point. This is the new optimal, which is point B, 2020. All right. Next one, let's see the first question. Okay, question C. Show the new budget line on the same graph as in 1.7. So I showed you here. This is our new budget line. This is our new indifference curve. This is new equilibrium. Okay. So here I showed you the explanation. The new opportunity set is the original budget line truncated by a vertical cap. Because here, right? Vertical cap, this one. At x equal 20, the new equilibrium sits exactly at the kink. Here is the kink. Here is the kink point, which is B, where this cap meets the original budget line at 2020. All right, this is first question. You will see it again, but not exactly this utility function. If I change a little bit, can you do that? If I put the half power x, can you do that? Okay. Please work hard during the reading week. It's quite similar with this one, okay, but not 100%. This is about question 1. So this is about chapter 3, consumer behavior, right? Next question. This is the answer. So please bring your pencil and eraser, also ruler, when you do the exam, okay? Don't mess it up. Otherwise, I cannot give you mark if I can't see it. Use pencil to draw it. And this question is about chapter 4. I marked here, okay? Teaching slide, page 14. Basically, in chapter 4, how many kind of goods we have? Can you tell me? In chapter 4, how many kind of goods we have? The first one, normal good. The second one, inferior good. The third one, what is the third one? Do you remember? What is the third one? Anyone knows? The third good, what is it? Good. Not good. Given good. So basically for chapter 4, you need to pay attention on 3 kind of goods. Of course, for normal good, it's normal. So I'm not interested in. And this question, please tell me, this question asks you to draw what kind of good? This question asks you to draw for inferior good, right? For inferior good, that means here. So if I change to given good, can you do that? If I ask you to draw for the given good, can you do that? You need to find the teaching slide and my video recording, okay, if you don't understand. Why I give you 2 graphs here? The first one, you need to label X and Y. This is how we track the total effect, substitution effect, and income effect. Okay? And you need to tell me here the price of X decreases, right? So point A is our initial optimal and point B is our new optimal. D is for substitution effect. Okay, I'm not gonna show you again because you can understand by yourself. This one I taught you before, okay? Normal, inferior, and given good. So please pay attention for these 2 goods. Here I ask you to do the inferior. If I ask you to draw the given, can you do that? Okay, next one. Also, one more thing. When you draw this graph, you need to explain to me, okay? I need to see that. Which direction to which direction, okay? So here, from A to B is the total effect. I use TE to represent. From A to D, which is the substitution effect. And from D to B, which is the income effect. I need to see this one. Okay, I need to see this one. Everything that I wrote down here, you'd better to try to understand and show me. All right, and then how we draw. So this lay below the lower graph, this is quantity of X. This is price of X. Why? Because I asked you to draw the Marshallian demand and Hicksian demand, right? Demand, price, and quantity. That's why price on the y-axis, quantity and on the x-axis. For Marshallian demand, you see, Marshallian demand, you need to use total effect, which is A and B, 2 points. How to draw this one? If you don't know, watch the video recording. And after you watch that, you still don't know, come to see me before the midterm exam. Because if you're not qualified, you cannot pass the exam, for sure. Okay? AB, total effect for Marshallian demand. AD, Hicksian demand. All right? So in this case, DM means Marshallian demand, which is steep. DH means Hicksian demand, which is flat. Okay, I'll leave this one to you next because I want to show you how to do question 3 because most of you didn't do this. Okay, so let's see. Do you understand the question? For question 3, let's see. So there are two consumers, right? Q1 and Q2. So this is about market demand. The first question, at what price does each consumer's quantity demanded fall to 0? What does it mean? It means that if Q equals 0, what is the price for two consumers? Okay? So here, if Q1 equals 0, you solve this one. Can you solve it? I'm really worried about you guys. Okay, so let me show you. Q1, if Q1 equals 0, that means 0 equal 24 minus 2p. Can you solve this for p? Yes. So p equal 12, right? Same idea, if Q2 equals 0, that means 0 equal 15 minus 3p. P equal what? Exactly 5. Okay, that's why the answer for this question is P equal 12 and P equal 5. I still don't understand why some of you didn't do it. This is not for bachelor, I would say. This is for high school students. But we just plug in quantity and Q because that is the number that we use in economics. All right, next one. Derive the market demand equation over the relevant price range. How to do that? So first of all, let me teach you how to draw the graph. Okay, how to draw the graph. X-axis, which is quantity, y-axis, which is P. How to draw this? Let me show you. Please draw the graph in the exam for the full marks. Okay, so let's see what we have. The first one, of course, you need to, because we have two consumers here, we need to get the market demand. What did you do? You sum them up, right? So big Q, capital Q equal Q1 plus Q2 equal this one plus this one, and then you got 39 minus 5Q, right? So let's see here. Basically here you need to draw 3 lines. Why 3? The first one is Q1 equal 24 minus 2p. Second one, Q2 equal 15 minus 3p. The third one, which is the market demand, Q equal 39 minus 5p. Okay, again, if you want to draw a line, how many points you need? How many points you need? 3? Wait 2 more. If you want to draw a line, yes, 2 points. Okay, so let's find this one. Okay, use your brain to calculate. If Q1 equals 0, P equal 12. Here, okay, P equal 12. If P equals 0, Q1 equal 24. That's why 24 here. Okay, so this is our first blue line. This is demand for consumer 1. Okay, the second one. If Q2 equals 0, P equal 5. That's why you should label 5 here. If P equals 0, Q2 equal 15. That's why 15 here. So the demand for the second one, this is the demand for the second consumer. Okay, the third line. If Q, capital Q equals 0, P equal 7.8. Why 7.8? 39/5, right? If Q equals 0, P equal 39/5, which is 7.8. Am I right? And if P equals 0, the capital Q equal 39. That's right here. Okay, the pink one. Okay, connect them. So let's see, what is the market demand? So basically, we have the price range at 5. Okay, you see? So only look at the upper. If price is between, so let's look at the lower. If price equal between 0 and 5, how many consumer will buy? Okay, so let me cut this demand into half. Look at this part. If the price equal 0 and 5, there are 2 consumers will buy, D2 and D1, right? So that's why we need to count the market demand, which is the pink line here. Okay, next one. If price is between 5 and 12, who will buy? If the price is between 5 and 12, which consumer will buy? Okay, don't look at the upper part, the lower part. If price is lower than 5, 2 of them will buy, right? Both of them, D2 and D1. That's why this is the market demand. Okay, so now look at the upper. If the price is greater than 5, who's gonna buy? Which consumer will buy? Right? Because you see, the second consumer, his demand function is below price 5. If price is higher than 5, he just quit from the market. Okay? So if price is between 5 to 12, only consumer 1 will buy. Okay? So the red one is our market demand. It's not smooth. There's a kink. Okay? So this is our market demand. So this is the final answer. Market demand is if the price is between 0 and 5, both of them will buy, which is 39 minus 5p, right? You sum it up. But if price is between 5 and 12, only consumer 1 will buy, which is 12, 24 minus 2p. This one is quite similar with your homework. Any question about this one? I know that most of you use AI to do your homework, but at least you need to understand what did they tell you, okay? You need to understand by yourself. Clear about this question? Okay, in the exam, show me the graph. Okay, let's continue. Question 4. This one is also similar with your homework. What is the question? What is the question? So there is a risky investment, right? With 340 baht with the probability no. Okay, so let me copy the question. Let me find it. Question 4A, what is the value of the other possible outcome? Okay, you just said the other possible outcome equal X. So right now for the risky one, (0.2 probability will get 100 baht, which means 0.8. Why 0.8? You use 1 minus 0.2, right? We'll get how many? No, you don't know. X, right? X. This is the one that you need to calculate, right? But the question said, this investment yields 2 possible outcomes with an expected value 340 baht, which means this one 0.2 times 100 plus 0.8 times X equal 340, right? This is the expected value. And then you solve for X equal 400 baht. Okay, so this is first question. And second one, the second question, if the investor has a utility function U equal to W squared, what is the expected utility from this investment? What does the utility function mean? U equal to W squared. W means wealth, money, right? The money you have. So here, for question B, you just calculate the expected utility. Right here, I showed you. This is how to calculate, because expected utility equal, because we have two possibilities, right? 0.2, you're gonna get utility 100 baht plus 0.8, you will get 400 baht, right? This is the X that we calculated from question A. And then you just plug in 0.2 times 2 times 100 squared, right? You just plug in 100 into this utility function plus 0.8 times 2 times 400 squared, right? So what is the first part? Okay, so here, this is the utility function, right? If W equal 100, U equal 2 times 100 squared. And right now, I just plug in this term here, right? So you just plug in numbers and then you times the probability. So for the first part is I showed you answer here. Okay, 4,000 plus 256,000, which is 260,000. This is the expected utility for question B, right? And next question. If there is another investment that yields a guaranteed return of 340 baht, do you think the investor will choose this guaranteed investment instead? Show your calculation and explain your reasoning. So basically for C, utility for the guaranteed, so that means the investor will get 340 baht, 100%. So we just plug in this one into his utility function, right? U 340 equal to times 340 squared, so which is 231, 200. So do you think will the investor choose which one? The risky one or the certain one? So you just compare the utility, right? Here. Expected utility from the risky one, which is 260, 100, which is bigger than the certainty one. So the investor will not choose the guaranteed investment. They prefer the risky investment since it gives them higher utility. Okay, I already showed you how to explain your answer. All right, so the last question. What are this investor's risk preference? The utility function, you look at his utility function, right? U equal to W squared, just a quadratic function. How does it look like? And because we have the positive 2, what is quadratic function? Let me show you. Is this quadratic function? Yes. But right now, we only care about the first coordinates, right? So basically, this is his utility function. Tell me, is this convex or concave? Convex, right? Okay, convex. So you need to tell me the utility function U equal to W squared is convex. If you can draw the graph, that means marginal utility of wealth is increasing. So this investor is risk-loving or risk-seeking. Given a choice between a certain amount and a risky gamble of equal expected value, they prefer the gamble consistent with the decision in part C. All right, so now we know this investor is risk-loving. So let me show you chapter 5, right? Chapter 5. Risk-loving, what is their utility function look like? Okay, you see this one, risk-averse. I am risk-averse. This is concave. This one is concave. And this one, risk-loving. This one is convex, right? Just like that, the one that I showed you. Utility equal to W squared. Don't get confused about the symbols here. Basically, in mathematics, it just means y equal to x squared, right? Y equal to x squared, that is a quadratic function. Look like this. U shape. All right. So basically, this is convex, okay, and confirmed this investor is risk loving, okay. Okay, I finished explaining this one. Anything that you want me to emphasize? Can you draw this one on your own? Okay, so this one is inferior good. Let me show you where is given good. Chapter 4. Chapter 4 here. Right here. Okay, let me show you. This one is normal good. This one is normal good. Okay, this is normal good. You see, for normal good. Okay, let me tell you the trick to draw the graph. For normal good, A, D, B. The order is A, D, B. Okay, look again. This is for normal good. For inferior good, the order is A, B, D. This is for inferior good. How about given good? Given good, the order is B, A, D. They are not the same, okay? Why? Because normal, inferior, or given, the substitution effect and the income effect, they are different. That's why we have different points here, okay? So the trick to draw, like the in the mock exam, I asked you to draw for the inferior, right? Okay, this is inferior. How did I draw it? So first of all, I remember the points A, B, D, right? And then, of course, at first, I need to draw the blue line, which is the initial point. A is the initial point. Okay, you need to draw the blue line. A is the initial point. Budget line L with indifference curve U1. And then the tangent at point A. Okay, this is first step. Second one, because the price of F decreased, right? Same in the exam, mock exam. I said the price of X decreases. If the price of X decreases, that means the consumer can buy more X. So the budget line rotates outwards. So we have budget line 2. At this budget line, we have a new utility, which is U2. Of course, we're going to have a new optimal, which is B. Okay, you need to remember A first, B later. But in order to get the substitution effect, we need to draw a imaginary budget line, which is the pink one, parallel to the new budget line, but tangent to the old utility, which is U1. That's why D here. That's why you see the pink. Let me use the dash line. Okay, the pink. Right, so this is the imaginary budget line. And then intersect, no, tangent at D, okay? A, B, D, remember the order. So basically, from A to B, this is the total effect. From A to D, you see A to D, they are at the same utility level, which is U1, right? A to D, you see they are at U1 satisfaction. So from A to D, it's the substitution effect. From D to B, this is the income effect, okay? Same here. You guys can check later by yourself, right? In the exam, please show me where is the substitution effect, where is the income effect, where is the total effect. Okay, and then draw the demand. Okay, so my question here, this green demand function, what kind of demand is this? I got it from point A and B. What kind of demand function is this? Any idea? Sorry. So do you know what is the choice? What kind of demand? When I ask you what kind of demand, two choices, right? The first one, Marshallian, the second one, Hicksian. If you can't spell the Marshallian correct, you just try to spell it M-A, I understand it's Marshallian, okay? You can get the point. So tell me, this demand, which demand is this? Yes, Marshallian demand. Why? Because I got it from A and B. A and B, which is the total effect, right? You see, A and B, total effect. So this is the Marshallian. If I want to draw the Hicksian, how can I draw? I need pink color. So you see, I already used A, B. So now I need to use D, right? Because Marshallian, because Hicksian demand only captures substitution effect, right? So I need to draw the D here. You see, you come down here, D. Intersect with this point, right? This is D. If I connect A and D, so the pink one is our Hicksian demand, okay? This is the demand of Hicksian. The green one, this is the demand for Marshallian. They are different, okay? Okay, so you see here, same as the exam. Demand of Marshallian is steep. This one demand for Hicksian is flat. Let me go back. Right, same as before. AB, total effect for Marshallian demand. Hicksian effect only for substitution, AD, which is DH. And one more thing for this one, because the question said the price of X decreases, right? That's why I have PX1, PX2. So from PX1 to PX2, I know that the price of X decreases, right? Decreases. That's why point A, you mark it from this one until this line. It only intersects with price X1. So this is point A. And for point B is after the price decreases, right? So for point B, you need to label it until price of X2, because this is the new price, right? So remember, point A intersect with the original price. Point B and D intersect with new price. Okay, and then you connect AB, you got demand of Marshallian. If you connect AD, you got demand of Hicksian. Okay, that's all from my part. And I think I tried my best to help you. I'll send you the answer. Okay, work out by yourself. Let me emphasize again, for the midterm exam, 20 for multiple choice question, similar with Kahoot, 40 points for the analytic one, which is similar with this one. But I'm going to change the utility function. Okay? So make sure you can do this. Work out by yourself. If you need help, send me a message through Mango. Okay, send me a message through Mango. So if you don't have any question, thanks for coming, and we will see each other the end of August, right? 31st. Is it 31st? After your midterm exam. Okay, so best wish for your exam, every subject.